Weeds can not only rob yield, weed seeds are problematic as they present foreign material issues in soybean export shipments. Those concerns make season-long weed control important on every farm. While they are vital, pre-emergence or pre-plant weed control measures may not provide season-long weed control, making post-emergence weed management necessary. Multiple herbicide-tolerant and traded soybeans offer some flexibility in post-emergence herbicide programs. However, growers should consider using multiple herbicide modes of action each season to reduce selection pressure for herbicide resistance. Herbicide selection will depend on the weed species present and the soybean traits. Herbicide labels should always be consulted for herbicide rates, adjuvants, crop growth stages, and appropriate tank mix partners. Tank mixing residual herbicides with foliar-active post-emergence herbicides is a common practice to restrict further emergence of weeds later in the season. For example, water hemp can emerge throughout the growing season, so layering residual herbicides may provide season-long control of this species. Post-emergence herbicides should be applied to smaller weeds, and proper herbicide coverage should be ensured. Otherwise, weed regrowth is possible. Keys to successful post-emergence herbicide selection and application include following the recommended label rates. Herbicide should also be applied to small broadleaf weeds, preferably plants under 4 inches tall that are actively growing.
One of the most critical things we have in post-emergence weed control is timing, and oftentimes it's based upon the size of the weeds. In this situation, we still have weeds that are under the 4-inch in height for the primary weed spectrum that we're looking at. So timely weed control is important. Applications should begin soon in this situation so that we can avoid larger weeds that are weed escapes and that will continue to grow and set weed seeds. So again, even if you have a pre-emergence and a post-emergence program, if you're doing combinations of that, keep in mind your weed height and try to do your timing based upon the product label when it is appropriate.
To ensure complete spray coverage, it's important farmers select the appropriate nozzles and carrier volume for each specific herbicide. Adding a residual herbicide tank mix partner also enhances the weed control efficacy. Off-target movement of post-emergence herbicides to sensitive areas must be minimized, so the herbicide label should always be consulted and followed. Consider adding appropriate drift control additives as well as setbacks. Applicators must also monitor wind speeds and temperature inversions. Consult herbicide weed control effectiveness for specific weeds from land-grant universities to obtain specific weed control ratings. Long-term weed management plans should also focus on reducing the weed seed bank in the soil. Applying herbicides with a single mode of action may speed up resistance development in weeds. Whenever possible, other weed management tactics should be combined with herbicide application. Where soybeans are planted in 20 to 30 inch rows, timely cultivation or inter-row tillage can be a viable option. Studies conducted at the University of Minnesota show that cultivation combined with layered residual herbicide applications resulted in the best water hemp control. Inter-row cultivation may also work as a rescue treatment if the chemical weed control measures fail.